Up, gamers? Alright, today I have a different sort of, I don't know how to describe it, but a different video. So this is a voiceover because I could not draw and talk at the same time, but the background footage is essentially me making plans for a Coca-Cola ad concept. In case you're not with the times and, current events, Coca-Cola made an AI ad and allegedly faked their process with it. And I don't know, I just think that's really lame and unnecessary. So I was like, well, why don't I just come up with a Coca-Cola ad, because you don't need to use AI, especially because they have money to hire artists. I don't know, that just seems really dumb for me. Like, why are you cutting costs when it's not like you'd be losing money if you paid artists? But I digress. So what you see now is me segmenting the original bottle so I can figure out how to draw it, because I don't I just draw characters. I just character design. I do not at all draw objects or backgrounds usually, which really sucks. But getting to the main meat and potatoes of everything, what I'm saying obviously isn't going to match up with the background video, but getting into the main meat and potatoes of everything, I just feel like you can have a Coca-Cola ad that's about like it being magical, right? And obviously I couldn't come up with a Christmas one because I've never celebrated Christmas. And that sounds like it'd be a pain to draw and animate myself. I'm not some great animator. I'm like an amateur artist. I just do this stuff for fun. So my idea behind it, and you will see that sort of later, but my idea behind the ad was that someone, picks up a Coca-Cola off of a table or something. Maybe their roommate bought it. I don't know what. They take a sip and they're like transported into this dream sequence, because I believe the original slogan of the Coca-Cola AI ad was like make magic or something. Something like that. It was really generic or whatever. So on the if we're going with like the dream big concept or make magic or whatever, right, having someone grab a Coca-Cola or grab a Coke off a table and just take a sip of it and they're instantly hooked and like daydreaming. I don't know if this reference is relevant in 2025, but like Food Wars, those scenes where someone would eat the food and there's an entire like sequence where they're really enjoying it and they pretty much like get transported. I say with quotation marks, but they get sort of transported. That was my idea behind it. So here I am making the thumbnails, which my boxes aren't even. I know that. I am not straight, so my boxes are not straight either. I actually did this on paper before I did it digitally, just because thumbnail looking is hard sometimes. So this is the table for the first thumbnail, because the first thumbnail would be the start of the animation, right? I guess technically it would more so, the start should be someone walking up to a table and then seeing the Coca-Cola. But I'm not about to draw someone walking up, so I just drew the table, and on the table there's going to be the bottle, and then to the side there's the person, which I'm drawing right now. There's the really badly drawn person, model, figure, whatever, who is looking down at the table, obviously, at the Coke. Again, I'm not really an animator, so I'm kind of rambling, but I'm not an animator, so I don't have all the skills necessary to make it look pretty for YouTube. So it just looks really rough, but it's more so about getting the idea and like point across. That's what a thumbnail's for. Side note, but can we talk about what happened with One Punch Man Season 3 and the animations? No, I'm not gonna get into that, but anyways, that's the really badly drawn bottle on screen. And again, that's supposed to be technically the first sequence where they see the bottle and they're like, oh, what's this? Is this a Coke? The next sequence is supposed to be them picking it up. And then it's like, I forgot what they're called, but it's the initial scenes, but there's supposed to be in-betweens there. So I don't remember what they're called other than like I don't know, but I am kind of having to thumbnail all this out and do it in the specific manner I am, because I do frame by frame. I cannot tween to save my life, and so this is how I'm stuck with this. I don't really animate that often just because it takes up a bunch of space on my phone, which is what I'm drawing on, but this was pretty much the best I had, and so, you know, we work with what we got. But yeah, the Coca-Cola ad situation is really, really sad. There's videos on it. I'd recommend watching those because, my god, it feels so dystopian. And I don't know if there is a video like this already, but I haven't seen anyone like try and make their own Coca-Cola ad or like animate it as like a, hey, you didn't need to use AI for this. But I figured I'd give it a go because, I don't know, this channel is more so an idea channel where, I mean, yeah, it's like commentary and other stuff, but it's mostly like concepts and here's how, you know, someone who's relatively creative and obviously is not using AI, because I would never, but how they would approach something like this. And I mean, I've already talked about the main ad concept, so like, if you clicked off now, I don't blame you because I'm sort of rambling at this point. But the rest of this is just gonna be me just playing the footage, but talking about how I view this channel and like what's going to be on here, because I know I have a lot more subscribers now. So this channel is more so like a creative diary, I guess, because I've always had so many ideas, and I know a lot of people struggle with having too many ideas, but you can't execute all of them. And that's kind of why I made this, and why some of my first videos were like, oh, how I would grow a garden and make it more interesting game. It's not necessarily about hating the original concept or like, oh, everything sucks now, like there's nothing good anymore. It's about like, I guess, encouraging people to be more creative and not rely on machines to come up with stuff, because the human mind, you know, we be coming up with some crazy stuff. I don't think we need AI at all. I don't think it's necessary for other things, but maybe. But when it comes to generative AI, and especially in the creative field, absolutely not. I think it has no place, and it's so sad to see people feel like they have to rely on it to get their concepts across, because it's not always about the end product or, you know, making it look pretty. Sometimes it's about the process, kind of like how ugly these thumbnails are. But anyways, it's really just about the process and getting there, honing your skills. My art used to look really, really, really bad, and it still does when it comes to backgrounds and objects, and God forbid drawing a pose that's anything but someone standing and facing forward. But, you know, everyone has their own journey and they take their own amount of time to do things, and you don't need instant gratification. You don't have to instantly be good at something. It kind of takes all the fun out of it and the experience if you're just always good at everything you do. And it's like, when it comes to AI generated images, because I don't really consider them art because there's no soul in it, but when it comes to those generated images, it's just instant gratification. It's just, I want this, and so I'm gonna make it right now, and wow, it looks good, so it's fine. But you would enjoy it a lot more if you were doing it yourself, I think. And I feel kind of bad for people who can't find that joy to be creative, or they feel like they have to monetize it. You don't have to monetize it, and what's going on with like Twitter and all these other people who are like, hey, you know, if you're gonna do art, get money for it, or people were saying artists are gonna be replaced. Art is like, it's human, it's emotion, it's who we are as people, and it doesn't make sense. Not everyone does art for money, and whether you do it for money, you get commissions, you don't, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you're still an artist and you're still a creative and you're still super cool. And it's fun. That was a really long tangent, bro. It's giving TED Talk low-key, but I wanted to get that out there and just talk about it, because I plan on making more videos. I still have to make the video about Mario Kart World. Lord, that's taking forever because of all the research, but I have to make the Mario Kart World video, and I also wanted to start a little mini series of like, what if this, right? What if this concept existed or something? Just, you know, get the creativity flowing, because that's always a good thing. Anyways, in the video, this is the last thumbnail I'm doing, where it's the person on the beach, after being like transported by drinking the Coke. And I think it would be interesting to actually make this an actual animation, but I'm not sure I have the skills for it. But anyways, yeah, that's about it. Bye.